And joining me now live from Allahabad in India is Afreen Fatima, student activist and National Secretary of the Fraternity Movement. Ms. Fatima, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
So what can you tell us about what is happening right now? Just give us updates right now. What's the situation like right now in India? And also, if you could touch upon what we saw in that video, how would you describe what was actually happening in that video and what led to that incident?
Right. So for over a month, Muslim women students have been protesting against their college administrations that have banned hijab. They have literally closed the college gate on their faces. And it has been over a month since Muslim women protesting this. But recently we're seeing that there is the Hindu students of the college are sporting saffron shawls, which is a show of Hindu majoritarianism and intimidation towards these Muslim girls who have been protesting. So this is not a controversy per se. This is simply denial of right to education and denial of right to religious freedom, and which is guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. And what we're seeing is that majoritarian intimidation is increasing. Hundreds and hundreds of Hindu students, male students, are attacking, harassing Muslim women publicly, and no one, not even the police, no one is doing anything about it.
So now, referring to the earlier question right now, when we look at that video, some disturbing kind of images, when we think about it, like one single woman who was being accosted by an entire mob of men. What can you tell us about that specific incident? What transpired there and what led to it? What was happening before we saw that video? Why were there hundreds of male protesters harassing that woman?
Right. Her name is Muskan, and she's shown immense courage to take on hundreds of Hindu men. I want to make this clear that this is Hindu students who are wearing saffron shawls and are harassing Muskan, trying to intimidate her to remove her hijab. She went to the college to submit her assignment for the term, and she was stopped by hundreds of Hindu boys trying to stop her, trying to assert that the hijab is not allowed inside the campus and you cannot be wearing this. And they were raising a slogan, a religious slogan that has turned into a war cry. They were raising slogans of Jai Shri Ram, and to which to return it, she asserted her faith and her identity by shouting Allahu Akbar.
So now that's, besides the religious extremism factor of it, that is misogyny at its extreme version right now. And considering reports that we've heard in India of violence against women and gang rapes, that was a very brave thing to do, to be single-handedly facing up to a mob right now. Would you agree to that?
Absolutely. We are seeing that attacks on women, especially Muslim women, is increasing day by day. We recently saw how hundreds of Muslim women, vocal, unapologetic Muslim women, were targeted online on an auction website that was created on GitHub. And now hijab, a basic symbol of Muslim faith, Islamic faith, is being targeted. And these kinds of attacks are increasingly supported by the Bharatiya Janata Party. They are these men and women and the Hindu community, they enjoy impunity at the hands of the government to carry out attacks like these, to have the audacity to harass women, to attack, lynch Muslims. This is increasing day by day, and the intolerance that the Muslim community is braving in India is increasing.
We have seen reports of that. Now, one thing I want to know is, when we talk about India, it does boast itself to be the largest democracy in the world right now. And the constitution itself, enshrined in it, is a secular constitution. There's two ways of interpreting secularism. And there is the French way, where it's freedom from religion. Religious symbols are not allowed. The other is freedom of religion, such as we see in the United States in many places. What kind of secularism is actually being implemented and practiced, or what was it meant to be when the Constitution of India was declared to be a secular nation? What does secularism really mean in India?
So secularism was supposed to be freedom of religion in India, but right now what we're seeing is that Indian secular values have become increasingly Hinduized. So anything that conforms to Hindu identity, say for example, raising Hindu religious slogans is deemed nationalist, is deemed as secular. No one bats an eye there, but as soon as you assert your as soon as the minorities assert their religious identity, it is seen as something anti-national and something not secular. So in India, it was supposed to be freedom of religion, that all people can be free to choose what religion they want to practice and follow their faith and their belief system. But right now, it is turning into, and in fact, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP, has a motto of making India into a Hindu Rashtra, which is a nation especially for Hindus, and Muslims and Christians deserve no citizenship rights, according to the RSS and the BJP.
So that is something I wanted to get into. What exactly is, in terms of the ideology of the BJP? Because we've heard that it's actually run by the more extremist wing, which is the RSS. What is the RSS? I think the world needs to be educated on that. Because we've heard reports of it being a dangerous extremist group akin to Hitler's Nazi party right now. If this kind of a party has seeped into the democracy and the fabric of the nation, where do you think it's headed? And where does that leave other minorities? What exactly, to what end? When they say they want a Hindu-only nation, what happens to those minorities? Are they shipped off to neighboring Muslim countries, or are they exterminated? What is the endgame of this?
Right. So the RSS is the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which believes in the Hindutva ideology of V.D. Savarkar. And the Hindutva ideology basically means that Hinduism is a supremacist religion, and that anything that is not Hindu, that is not Indic, should not be allowed inside India. And the RSS modus operandi is to compromise institutions of the state. As of now, the media has been compromised, the judiciary has been compromised, the law enforcement has been compromised, and the tensions, there is extreme radicalization. India is right now experiencing the biggest mass radicalization that the world has ever experienced, and the result of this radicalization is comes out in the form of lynchings. It comes out in the forms of anti-Muslim pogroms that are state-sponsored pogroms where Muslims are brutally killed, and members of the Hindu community participate in arson, and they brutally, violently attack Muslims. Our businesses are attacked. So there is a complete shut on any way that Muslims can be in India. Our religious freedoms are attacked. Mosques are attacked. They have a problem with the azan being said 5 times a day. They have a problem with Muslims performing namaz in designated spaces, and this is only increasing. And the way we see it, this is not going to be India is heading towards a genocide, and it is very, very important that the world takes note of what is happening in India and intervenes.
Now, would you say that, is it specifically Muslims who are being targeted here, or are other minorities also being targeted by these Hindu extremists? Is it specifically the Muslims, or is it more than that?
It is more than that. Muslims are at the front of it. They are at the front of braving attacks from the Hindutva, from the BJP, from the RSS. But the Christian minority, the Sikh minority, Dalits, all such marginalized communities are being attacked. And but right now, the biggest enemy that has been created, that has been made the other, is the Muslim community. And the Muslim community is staring at a genocide, and we fear that the Muslim community will be exterminated if recourse is not planned.
Now, if recourse is not planned, you predict what could happen. But also, if things keep going this way, these minorities, specifically the Muslims, but also Christians, other minorities, what option are they left with to deal with this violence? What option would they be left with if things keep going this way and nobody intervenes and a secular constitution is not followed? What option are these communities, your community, left with?
I believe that the Muslim, the Christian, and other marginalized communities are coming together, realizing that there is an increasing hate towards these communities. They are forming alliances with each other. There is talks of Dalit Muslim unity, Christian Muslim unity, Sikh Christian Muslims. So these forums are being created. We're also trying to reach out to the international community, to the people of the world, to make them aware of what is happening in India, to intervene in whatever way possible. At the same time, we are also trying to forge alliances within the Hindu community, trying to see who are those people who do not believe in this Hindutva ideology of one nation, one religion, and one language. And we are also trying to immediately start de-radicalization programs in India.
Now, one thing I want to ask you is, as a woman, beyond just being a Muslim, but how important it is as a young woman and an activist in a country when we talk about whether a woman wants to cover up or whether she does not want to cover up. How would you try to describe it being a woman's choice? Should it not be a woman's choice, however she wants to live? How would you try to educate people on the basic right of a woman to choose what she wants to wear and how she wants to live her life?
It should be as simple, and there should be no compromise on the part of women who choose to wear what they want. It is this choice, this consent, is something that women should not have to demand for, that women should not have to protest for. If Muslim women want to wear hijabs, they should not have to protest to wear hijab. And if similarly, this choice of clothes, this choice of wearing what women want, I believe, in a lot of ways, this also comes from a patriarchal setup that wants to dictate women what they can and cannot wear. And these protests of wearing hijab, of wanting to wear hijab, or of wanting to wear anything else, is a defiance of that very patriarchy.
Yes, definitely. So you would say that they do say that it's under the guise of secularism and trying to ban religious symbols. But you do say that this is, even asking someone not to cover up, it's a decision being made by men, and therefore it is being enforced by a patriarchal system. It is a misogynist way of looking at things under the guise of being progressive and secular.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's completely a woman's choice. She cannot be dictated by anyone that she cannot wear a piece of cloth on her head. She cannot be dictated by anyone if she wants to cover her face. She cannot be dictated by anyone. No one can tell a Muslim woman what she can and cannot wear. And I believe that this urge to dictate it to women of what they can and cannot wear comes from a patriarchal and a very regressive mindset.
All right, Afreen, one last thing I would just ask you. What is your plea to the international community? What can be done and what is urgent and needs to be done in order to stop something really significant and dangerous happening in that country right now against the minorities and especially women over there right now? What do you think the world needs to do immediately in order to somehow stop a crisis happening?
I believe that people of the world should immediately reach out to their governments and try to get sanctions on the Indian state. The Indian state has become a monster, and it is marginalizing, it is killing, it is brutalizing, it is criminalizing, oppressing its minorities. And I also believe that everyone should treat this as an SOS message coming out from India.
All right, Afreen Fatima, thank you so much for taking out the time to speak to us. You're very brave for having to deal with this right now, and we hope that we can speak to you again sometime soon in better circumstances.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.